Good morning, sunshine. So I am in my office and not my kitchen this morning because I was learning yesterday, as I am wont to do, and like this little fun fact, I could not wait to share with you. So I had to make it a part of this morning. Did you know that you can retrain your taste buds? Okay, let's get into that just a little bit because this is really exciting. So, like all cells, our taste buds replenish themselves and they don't carry memory forward because that's not what they do. So, good morning, sunshine. Oh, you're going to like this. Listen to this. So, we're talking about retraining our taste buds. So our taste buds are cells, which means that they have a lifespan, and that lifespan is generally about 10 days. Now here's the thing. It's not every day that your taste bud, or like every 10 days, you don't get like a whole new sheet. Like this happens, but you can progressively retrain your taste buds. And your taste buds will I forgot the thing. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. But there was a quote that one of the scientists said, and it wasn't the thing that I had right in front of me. I was like, oh, I'll remember that. No. But it had something to do with the effect. I won't go through and try and pull it up. I know this is a jumbled mess, and I appreciate you for hanging out with me as I go through this. But your taste buds, in the absence of the things they love, will learn to love the things that they are present with. That's not exactly the way it was phrased. It was phrased in a much more elegant way. But essentially what it means is that if you begin to eat differently, drink differently, your taste buds will become accustomed to the new flavors that you are bringing to it. It expands. It will do different things. So the first time you taste something, you may not like it very much because it's not what your taste buds are used to having. So, for example, for those of us who are very accustomed to eating a lot of highly processed or fast foods, they add a lot of chemicals that stimulate our taste buds. And so when we start doing home cooking, or we are eating more whole fruits and vegetables like an apple, like it may not taste very sweet, it may not taste very salty, but if we don't go back to eating those highly processed foods with all of the chemical additives, our taste buds will begin to adapt and apples become sweeter. Low salt foods become saltier, more flavorful, and we can retrain our taste buds. And it doesn't take very long. We just have to be consistent with it. So if we can stick to it for 2, 3, 4 weeks, then we can retrain our taste buds for a whole new palate. And we get the umami and the sweetness from a more balanced meal. And then it gets to the point where when you do have highly processed foods, it's hello, king of me. It's not as distracting. It's not as appealing. Sometimes it can even be overpowering. So retraining your taste buds, thinking about it in that way, is an excellent way to have that feeling, that approach. Hello, Daniel and Kamal over on YouTube. Thank you guys for stopping in. We're sharing this morning about retraining your taste buds. And so it only takes about 10 days for those cells to recycle. So they don't all reset at once, but you can go through and reduce your sugar intake, reduce your salt intake, and include more whole foods, more apples, more kale, more greens. And as you are consistent with eating healthier, better for you foods, your taste buds become accustomed to these flavors and they become more appealing, more satisfying as you go through. And it is so helpful for our own journey to have an understanding of this, that like the first couple of times it can be difficult. Or if you go out and let's say you go on a trip, and while you are out on that trip, let's be honest, convenience foods happen a lot. When you get home, it can be really hard to get back into a routine where you are eating at home, cooking for yourself, and things may not taste the same as they did before. But if you can stay consistent to it, then you get that umami, that satisfaction back. Good morning, Carol. And so like this, it was just a really fun fact yesterday, and I didn't realize it was only 10 days. And so in a period of 10 days, you can retrain your palate through consistency. So that's my thoughts for today. What do you guys think? Like, what is something that you want to try differently? How would you take this new bit of knowledge to your advantage and apply it, right? Because if we are eating less salty things, this is much better for our blood sugar, hypertension, all of these things. Reducing the amount of sugar that we bring in is a huge benefit for a lot of health reasons. They are coming to learn that most health problems, from dementia, diabetes, chronic illnesses of all sorts, really are rooted in our blood sugars and a dysregulation of our blood sugars. Alzheimer's has shown great improvements when sugars are regulated. So King says that he didn't know that you could do that with your taste buds. Absolutely. Like, so King of me, what would you want to change? Would it be less salty foods? Would it be less sweet foods? Maybe it's embracing some more sour foods, because acidic, like vinegar, lemon juice, these are things that help cleanse our body. And some people don't enjoy those flavors, but we can retrain our taste buds so that that more acidic lemon juice, vinegar is something that we do find joy and umami as part of. So King of Me says that he drinks lots of sodas and sweets are his problem. So you can absolutely use this and like retrain, step those back. I'm so glad you subscribed. Thank you, Daniel. We share little things like this. I cook a lot for breakfast too. But in my personal experience, one of the things that I have found most helpful, and I didn't realize I was retraining my taste buds, but now I do, is that when I first got away from sodas, I went from sodas to a tea. I went from a black tea to more herbal teas, and each time that I stepped away, I reduced the amount of sweetness that went into it. I went from sugars to I was doing artificial sweeteners, but now I'm using small amounts of natural sweeteners like honey or molasses. I told my mom that I was doing molasses in my coffee because I do like a little bit of sweetness with mine. I know, Carol, don't hate me. Black coffee is great and I support you. I need a little bit of sweetness in mine. But having a little bit of molasses, which just adds a little bit of sweetness into my coffee, and I do cinnamon as well. Like that's a really good adjustment for me. I do honey in my teas, and it's not a ton. Hello, Susan. Thank you for stopping in. So Barbara says craving sugar or something sweet may need that you need more magnesium. And that's true. A lot of times when we have cravings, it's because there is a mineral that our body needs. And a lot of times it can be found in like some of the natural sweeteners, but then when you refine it to white sugar, like those are no longer there. And that can be like a big issue. So congratulations, Danielle, on having 46 subscribers. That is a great place to start. Show up consistently and you can increase that. Ed drinks his coffee with honey. I think that's amazing. I've never tried honey in my coffee, but I think that could be a good experiment. Although, I don't know, I've kind of gotten hooked on the little bit of molasses in mine. But then again, I've always enjoyed the flavor that comes with molasses. I can remember from being very young that like the molasses cookies, they were actually one of the cookies that I really enjoyed doing. So I love all of these ideas that you guys are sharing and how you are bringing ideas to help retrain taste buds. So Susan says that she enjoys monk fruit. It is a natural sweetener. And she uses just a little bit. Exactly. And monk fruit is a great sweetener. I have used monk fruit in some of my baking, and it works out really well. It brings a really good flavor. When you don't want some of the additional flavors, because honey has a very distinct flavor. Molasses has a very distinct flavor. The monk fruit is a great natural sweetener that doesn't have a distinct flavor, which is why it works out so well when I'm doing baking and things, because then whatever the other flavor is, that really is allowed to come through. So I'm so glad you mentioned that, Susan. That was a great share. So yeah, all kinds of really great ideas, great shares. So King of Me over on YouTube says that he's going to be trying molasses now too. And you know, maybe think about doing the monk fruit, because again, all of these different natural sweeteners, they have a phytonutrient profile that is different for each one, which means that they give us different minerals, different microbial properties, and they can be very healthy to have a variety. And I think that's something that we have lost through time, is that we never, in the history of human beings, had a single source where, you know, we always had a refined white sugar. We've always gotten like our sweeteners or the salts from wherever it was available, and it changed through seasons. It changes through where we are. And so in that nomadic lifestyle that was much more common, having a variety of different flavors and things was really common. So using a variety of natural whole foods in our diets is really, really good for us. And embracing like just the natural sweetness that comes with fresh whole fruits is going to be amazing. And really, like, so I'm going to tell this story and then I'm going to wrap it up. But Sunday, I made whole wheat pancakes for Joey. And we don't do this very often, but every now and then. I've never been a big fan of the flavor that comes with maple syrup. I know. Everybody grows up with like maple syrup as their thing. But so I'm looking for different alternatives, and Sunday when I made the pancakes, I took pears, and it was canned pears. I'm going to be perfectly honest, buying fresh fruits all of the time, not even something that I can do, but canned fruits in natural juice or water, not syrup, not light syrup, 100% juice or water. These are really good options because they hold the natural sweetness without adding in additional sugars. So I had pears in 100% juice, no added sugars, and I cooked that down with some cinnamon. Those are the only two things that went into it. And I cooked it down until the pears were very soft. I mushed those just a little bit. And then at the very end, I put in a tablespoon of butter just to add like a creaminess to that. And that turned into a pear compote. That is a very fancy chef term for mashed pears. And then I had that on the pancakes. And Joey was like, I don't know about that. That seems weird. Because he's Joey. If you know Joey, you know Joey. But I was like, just try it. Just a little bit. Just try it. See if you like it. And he was like, oh, this is really good. And he ate pear compote on the whole thing. And he really enjoyed it. And it really was just the natural fruits. No additional sweeteners. None of the other things. And so that all goes back into, these are things that we can do to retrain our taste buds, and it can be really delicious. Because I'm just gonna say, like, my whole wheat pancakes, this really was like a culinary experience from a chef. All right, so that's my stories. That's retraining the taste buds. I ran a little bit long today, but it's been such a really good conversation with you guys. Susan, I'm glad we are on the same page with the whole maple syrup thing. compote is boiled fruit for a tea like a natural fruit punch. Exactly, Elfina. Um, and yeah, Barbara, being willing to try something new. I absolutely love this. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this conversation. I love the fact that we are sharing across platforms and everybody who is sharing what they've got to say on Facebook and on YouTube and having this great conversation. It has been absolutely amazing. So, about this time every morning, I sit down and we have a little talk about different things that support us on a journey to better health. And I would love it if you guys would come back and share your thoughts on another morning. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.